Good morning. I've got a wee story to tell you that I'm quite pleased about, but it's got a shocking bit in the middle about the covering up of massive international frauds by companies in the UK and the company check websites who for a couple of days looked as if they had taken the option to become corrupted to shield the crimes of companies like these. These are the companies that are registered in the City of London, in Eccleston Square, London, and I found them on companies in the UK by searching for that postcode. When I realised that that was the location of the name Eccleston, which is an obfuscation tool for geopolitical frauds ranging from the ownership of the EU forever and releasing Ronnie Biggs and the story about the Great Train Robbery to cover up the issues on the Cold War and the Russian issues like renewable oil being revealed by Russian scientists. Britain prefers to manipulate the price at the forecourt and to cover up the truth. The running of companies like this is a massive scandal. This is Trident 3 and the board on there is absolutely ruthless. They have got mercenary army leaders, they've got Pearsons, they've got leaders of the financial world, and when I tried to find other companies yesterday on the companies in the UK website, I got blocked. You were no longer able to search by postcode, and I wrote them a letter of protest. I'm going to go to the other, let me just show you the directors on this cabal, because I've made statements about it. I have never really explicitly revealed who they are or how damaging it could be in terms of a nuclear extinction threat. So if you go to company check, look for directors at the top. They've got a net worth of Zippo. Everything changes in the last month since I revealed this to Alex Salmond and his colleagues, which could have won them the independence for Scotland that they pretended that they were being paid to pursue. They were being paid to desert their country. So there's the director listing. Eccleston Square, London, company number for Trident 3 041 867 33. Okay, a required driver is missing. So there's the directors: Mr. Jonathan Peter NEWMAN, Gilmer Leroy Blankenship, Hallmark Registers Limited, Hallmark Secretaries Limited, Thin Blue Line. They have done instant transactions on behalf of this company, which is fraud. Mr. David Thomas Hawkins, Mr. Dominic Edward McCasland Armstrong, Mr. Geoffrey Paul Arnold Day, Mr. Geoffrey Paul Arnold Day. That means he's a secretary and a director at the same time, and he probably liaises with these people. If we check on the business details below about exactly when they did their dirty work and laundered proceeds that could be on the sale of ballistic weapons, that could be a human extinction threat, but nobody's allowed to know it. This is the really scary one. Mr. Timothy Simon Spicer on the board, different periods, overlapping directors with different registered details. So he's a secretary and a director as well. He's got insider information in concurrent periods of time. I would almost bet that they are concurrent with Hallmark, and that means that the money can be laundered with no implications for tax or the Treasury. Remember that this is a nuclear deterrent that the United Kingdom uses, but that it is based in Glasgow, where the referendum was hosted, and none of this truth was revealed to the people. it could have won Scotland its freedom from the tyrants and profiteers. Tim Spicer is a mercenary army leader in sub-Saharan Africa for decades, and if we look at the bottom of this timeline, we'll see that from 2002 right up to 2010 he was on the board of this company. 2010 is when I became a fraud researcher in Scotland, and all of them bail out really quickly. There's Miss Sarah Ann Mason Pearson. Remember the stories I told you about the Pearson financial dynasty and our farewell fishing trips involving the Pearson families and their friends in Leeds University, where Melvin Bragg is best mates with Klaus Moser, the country's chief statistician for 30 ruthless and greedy years. Right then, let me tell you now the encouraging bit, because I have shamed them. They withdrew the capacity to search, and if you look for Trident 4, we can go back and do that now. Trident 4 uses all the conventional money laundering vents that Gordon Bowden and I have talked about at great length. And let me just see where that is. What I've done this morning is to restrict my search to Trident, and you get, now that we've released the news, you get 1477 hits in the British Business Directory for Trident. Not all of them are in Eccleston Square, but let me show you. We've seen Trident 3, let's have a look at Trident 4 now, and the legendary names that steal from British Treasury interests, that launder money beyond tax collection into different continents. Panama, the Bahamas, all over corporate America, in every state now. They started with Delaware, but now you can find onshore tax havens all around the globe to dismember the country's sovereignty and the capacity to fund its initiatives, as we've explained in the Dave Prentice Unison scandal. So here are the directors for Trident 4. Spicer's on the board here too, or he was last week. Everything is ever so dangerous for them, because these are international frauds on an unprecedented scale. Okay, do you get the picture? Thin blue lines all the way. The current directors are at the top of the list. Let's see when they started. As we said, there we go. Now there is the start date. They are now in power right up to 2014 and the end of 2014. 13, 12, 11, 10. That's when Spicer bailed out. These are his replacements, because they are not mercenary army leaders. Graham John Binns, Jonathan Peter Newman, Instant Companies Limited, the ones that do all of the instant transactions all along their transcript. That's the fourth one down. Let's just scan along it. That interfered with me. Okay, often happens. Do not be perturbed. The adverts on here are quite spooky. Let me show you. We have to go back. This is a trick they play. I've got another story to tell about the ads that they place on their websites, because they advertise now the trading of your fraud on different countries for all of the law evasion reasons that will become obvious to you in the next 15 minutes or so. Okay, let's go back to the directors for Trident 4 for the second time. Okay, see that ad inserted up there? I'm going to tell you about the ads that they run in a few minutes. So there's the instant companies. Nothing on there until we get to that date there, which is, if we scan down, 2010. So the mercenary army leader left both Trident 3 and Trident 4 in 2010 He's been there since 2003. That's 7 years. That includes all of the time when we were in Afghanistan, Iraq, Kurdistan, all of the countries that have been brutalised by Timothy Simon Spicer and the UK's boss Tony Blair. All of that time they've been at the trough. This is a nuclear deterrent to keep Britain peaceful. All of the time they are robbing from other countries. And when you look at the companies that they've got on the Trident scandals, in just 2 of those 1,400 companies, you've got Swift Incorporations Limited, Instant Companies Limited, and at the top, as we just seen, oh no, sorry, there's only the 2 of them, and there's the Swift contribution all the way through. There is nothing, because their interactions with this company are just a day long, I would suspect. Let's have a look and see how long Swift served as launderers. So there's Instant Companies, appointed 23rd of the 8th 2002, resigned 23rd of the 8th 2002. Armstrong did a whole year's work. He is a loyal servant before he flees with the suitcase filled with cash, or he actually brings it back. I don't know how they bring it back in and make it spendable, but a lot of it is explained by the time that they spend in the havens and at the trade fairs abroad. Spicer served on this one. This is number 4 for Trident, 2002 to 2010. Swift Incorporations are still working for them. Yeah, they have not yet resigned, but they have crashed 263,000 companies of the 266 that they ran. Yeah, it's a pump and dump and laundering operation on what is a nuclear extinction threat. I'm going to go to the other computer now, because this week they have taken away, since I revealed the Eccleston linkage and the capacity to find people like Kate Adie, the journalist who's registered in Eccleston Square in London. I found that out by a postcode search. You remember Kate Adie on the media talking up our need to intervene in the Holy Lands and to brutalise all of those countries so that we can sequester the central bank. Her business, which is called the Rubicon Limited, I think, but my memory is frail, is also registered in Eccleston Square. So, since that was reported to Salmond, Sturgeon, all of the politicians at Westminster, the Better Off Together party, and all of my local representatives, who I'm still allowed to contact, which is only John Lamont now. He's the only one of my Democratic representatives that I'm allowed to send an email to. And he's an advisor on law enforcement in Scotland. As a former member of one of the firms in the magic circle of 5, each one of their consultants or partners in the business makes 1.7 million from their clients in a calendar year. They are in the top 5 law enforcement frauds in the world, and their name is Freshfields, Brookhouse and Derringer. I've made videos on them. You must watch them if you want to understand how corrupted our country is. And I thought earlier this week that we had an enhancement of that company corruption, because what I found when I went to the company check site, which is illustrated here, is that you can only now search by companies. You can no longer search by postcode. They have reversed that in recent days, and I'll show you that in a minute, because of my protest and because of my correspondence with them. But this is shocking. When I went to this website the other day to try and do another postcode search, I found an ad on their site, and this is my correspondence on what happened when I found that ad. And what I've done is I've written to several people, and some of them have confirmed receipt, and because that has happened, they have reversed their policy. You can now again search by postcode. So since this is my message to companies in the UK about their policy reversal, the revision of their website, and the incapacity to search by postcode. Since I disclosed the Trident 3 and Trident 4 scams out of Eccleston Square, London, you have removed the capacity to search companies in the UK by postcode. This email has been captured by screenshot, and I know that you have done this to try and shield the scams from disclosure. This makes you complicit in the crime, and I need your policy unit to account for why you have made such a negative change in one of the most useful websites in what now appears like the UK dirty tricks business. Yours sincerely, and I have CC'd that to Alex Salmond, the Lothian and Borders Police, John Lamont MSP. My other political representatives will not allow me to contact them. That's Michael Moore MP, and all of my local councillors. That's Tom Weatherston, the former head of the Yorkshire Post, whose name always is difficult to remember because he's a Leeds man. He's not a local. He's been brought in to manipulate things up here. His name is councillor. The other councillor in my region is Alec Nichol. I think he was the head of the council at the time that they doubled the CEO at the council's salary, and she was appointed. And so it's Simon Mountford, the Yorkshireman who lives in Yetham, is the third of the people. I cannot post anything on the Southern Reporter, that's my local paper run by Johnston Press, a national cabal with a mission to get rid of local jobs and print runs everywhere in the UK. That company is run by Susan Windrum, and I found that she is. The Windrums are also with the Toms on a geopolitical manipulation company that is registered in Galashiels, Michael Moore's hometown, and the place where his constituency office is, where they lock the door so that I cannot make an appointment with them. And I go and report that to the local police office, where they have had their pay frozen for 7 years, and yesterday I released the information on that scandal, which unveils the involvement of Unison's leading member Dave Prentice on the court of the Bank of England and the issuance of all of Britain's democratic funds. It is scandalous. So, but blessedly, companies in the UK appear to have reversed their policies. I'll show you in a minute that you can now search. But what I found in the middle period was that you find ads cropping up. Now, when they had restricted it so that you could not search by postcode, the ad that I found was for register your company abroad for efficiency reasons, and it is run on the companies in the UK website by a company called Adam Global. Do you get the picture? Adam is the man who condoned the original sin by women, and now you can have your business registry in the Holy Lands near the Garden of Eden. Okay? So I decided that I would try and clear up the ownership of the title Michael Ellis Moore. Nobody's prepared to own up to being Michael Ellis Moore, which had 85 companies registered in Dubai. So I pretended that I was him for an afternoon, and I got onto the Adam Global chat line, and I will show you the correspondence that then ensued. But first I'll tell you something about the company and their capacity to register your business abroad if you want to be a fraudster like Michael Ellis Moore. His companies were registered in Dubai until I got onto their trail. He's resigned, Michael Ellis Moore, from all of those companies since. Right then, there's the website, and this is a declaration. Now I could be assassinated for this, and if I am, I want you to know that Adam Global are probably responsible for it, but it could be anybody in John Lamont's or Michael Moore's cabals. And here is the members of this company, which is in the United Arab Emirates. Chairman, Advisory Council, Corporate and Environmental Law, Hector Rodriguez Molnar. Juan Botelho Reina, Michelle Carelli Palombi. Renewable energies. You know all about the scams in renewable energies out of the UK, thanks to Gordon Bowden, Professor George Lees and John Patterson. This is a national scandal that the country is able democratically to steal its own taxpayers' money using union leaders and companies in the United Arab Emirates that advertise on the UK British Business Register page. Roberto Corsilio, accounting and auditing. They pretend they do not have it in inverted commas. Ana Rodriguez, real estate. That's in the United Arab Emirates, advertised openly in the British Business Registry, so that you can make your company more fraudulent very cheaply and without disclosure. There's a nice guy, a very warm smile. FDI Performance and Protection Expert, Marshall Kapochan. Majid Dawood, Financial Services. Territory, Middle East, Mediterranean, Europe, Asia and Americas. Professional credentials, PricewaterhouseCoopers trained, chartered accountant, gold medalist. Michael Moore, without the Ellis in the middle, the MP, who is also Michael Kevin Moore, the Ponzi scamster at the Foundation for Democracy Limited, ran out of Westminster, is also a chartered accountant. This guy on this company, so that British businesses can be registered beyond regulation, was trained at PricewaterhouseCoopers, and he's got a gold medalist category in brackets. Finally, we get a sickly looking academic. He is likely to be even more sickly looking when the acts of God catch up with him. His name is Professor Donald D. Adams. As if it may not be a joke about the biblical Adam after all. Okay, so Adam Global. Who are we? Contact us. Leadership, purpose and values, media centres, company information, offshore company formation, intellectual property, outsourcing, accounting and payroll, business plans and feasibility studies. This is all concurrent with the removal of the simple tool to find British frauds in Britain by searching them by postcode. Right then, so I want to show you that the chat line is very useful, and how I got this news out and how I changed their minds was that I communicated with a lady called Kat on something called Google Plus, and I revealed the nature of the scandal and that I had revealed it to Scottish politicians and the Lothian and Borders Police, and CAT was able to get the company to change their mind. I don't know whether or not you can still find this illicit United Arab Emirates company so that you can cheat from the British taxation system, and even the National Treasury. If you are a war criminal like Nadim Zahawi, who's the MP for Stratford, and I keep telling you about, but nobody does anything about it. Right then, let me see what the correspondence was with the chat line, because I like to make a joke about these things and the impact it has on the world's children. There's the Trident thing, and that is me complaining to the companies in the UK about the withdrawal of the capacity to search by postcode. Then we get the Adam stuff, and then we get the stuff on the disclosures that I made in their chat room. Let me just find that for you. So I registered for a chat with them under the name Michael Ellis Moore, and I will relay the whole of my chat with them online. You just type in the information and you wait for a response. It's like I had my chat with Crown Oil in the Rochdale area. They are a massive fraud, and they are run by Lord Markham of Ukraine. And so this is my email conversation, or my chat room conversation with Myrna Josie at the company that is designed to evade taxes overseas but advertises on the British Business Registry, Adam Global. Hello, my name is Michael Ellis Moore. Hello, Michael Ellis Moore. My name is Myrna Josie. How may I help you? Hi, I am delighted that you have taken on British companies in the United Arab Emirates. We have been trading out of Dubai for some time, and because I am involved, I've had to save these as a series of screenshots. Because I am involved. Hi, I'm delighted that you've taken on British companies in the United Arab Emirates register. We have been trading out of Dubai for some time, and because I am involved with government issues, the registrations in the UK were drawing unwanted attention. What have you got to offer? ? And Myra responds, can I have your full name, email address and contact number, please? And I say to that, in response to that, sorry, the phone is ringing in the other room. Can you let me know the costs? I have been intrigued by your, sorry, because it's a screenshot save, recent launch. Before I commit to the facts, can you give some insight into Adam Global's board of directors? Almost certainly they will be friends of mine. Give me 10 minutes. I think that will be the Chancellor George Osborne in the other room. So then Myrna replies that the director and the boss is Mahmoud A. Tassadak, MBA, CMILT, that's CMILT UK. I need to do a little bit of research on him in case I do get assassinated. I want you to know all of the facts of the people in these teams. Okay, and next go to the next screenshot. Oh, and I've got his whole details here. Mahmoud A. Tassadak, MBA, CMILT UK, Managing Director, Adam Global. If you want to ring and discuss some fraud with them, their mobile number is +971 561 32 8799, and you can email mahmood.a adam.tasadak@adamglobal.com, his Skype address, and you know that Skype is owned by the same companies as McAfee, Gmail, and they are registered in Woolwich with Baroness Blackstone's scams, including the Channel Tunnel contracts with the Anglo-French Chambers of Commerce. Okay, and what I've told Myrna, because I'm telling lies to them effectively to expose the massive scandals that is blighting the whole of the British economy, I say, dear Myrna, I'm going to have to curtail the call. The UK Chancellor is in a state of panic. Someone in Scotland, in brackets, one of our colonies, has discovered that our biggest union leader, Dave Prentice, is on the board at our central bank, and he has just had a call from the Washington Post, so we are on a sticky wicket. I will get back to you ASAP, so thanks for your discretion. Bye bye for now. That was the end of the conversation. That's the only sin I have committed in the last 5 years. I have told them tiny little white lies about me being a profiteering politician. But the letter I wrote on the postcode fraud has gotten me a positive result. We have now restored to companies in the UK the capacity to search by postcode, and all of that has happened in the last 4 days. I've not had a follow-up or anybody visit my house yet with a gun in a towel. That could happen in the next few hours. I've not done anything really wrong, because nobody's allowed to know who Michael Ellis Moore actually is. Let me show you again what Michael Ellis Moore has on the business directory. So that's a triumph. There's companies in the UK, within 3 or 4 days they have withdrawn the very useful capacity to expose scandals like Trident by postcode searches. And because of my little fuss, and because of my little insightful phone calls and chatline documentaries, they have now had to reverse that policy for fear of disclosure of being complicit in the Trident crimes. None of the politicians or my wife's divorce solicitor, Miss Patricia, sometimes Louise Tom, sometimes Mrs. Tom, possibly a fraudulent director on that company in Galashiels with the Windrums, who are the directors and editors of the Southern Reporter. Yeah, can you see how twisted and globalised it is? Everybody thinks that their little bit of cheating is doing no harm. The kids now pay for all of it. They are £50,000 in debt when they get their honours degree. We got everything for free, and we are now the leaders of society, and this is the way that we treat the kids. What was I going to show you there? I was going to show you that companies in the UK have opened up, but I was also going to show you what Michael Ellis Moore has got on his transcript registered in Dubai. They might have taken it down. I'm doing this live on air and it could take some time. 2 director results. Okay, now no postcode available, so if we look at him, you'll see the companies that he runs. Let's just click on it and get his own crimes. Remember that this is the MP for the Borders region. The Borders College is, oh, it may not be the MP for the Borders region, sorry about that. I'm not allowed to say anything with certainty because all of these frauds are massive. Michael Ellis Moore, DP World, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, 911443671. Let's find his companies and just reel them off for you. Norbay UK Limited. All of these are massive. They're in the shipping infrastructure, global mail, transiting people around the globe as refugees or exiles going to new jobs in Australasia, like yours truly. P&O Scottish Ferries Ship Management Limited. The ferry costs to the Isles. You remember the Skye Bridge scandal perpetrated out the secret society in Edinburgh that is the speculative society that appoints the law officials to Jedburgh Sheriff Court that take on my cases and tell me that I'm accused of bad behaviours. Then they revise the writ and they make it impossible for me to defend myself, because all they put in the second writ is the amount of money that they choose to take from me as Scotland's most innocent man. There is no accusation now. I cannot defend myself. The writ has nothing that I can say I am not guilty of. All it is a declaration of is that they will take half of my home and half of my pensions from me. Okay, P&O Scottish Ferries Limited. Yeah, all those citizens in the Outer Isles are being robbed by Michael Ellis Moore until I get onto him. P&O Properties International Limited, P&O Tank Shifts Investments Limited, P&O Overseas Holdings Limited, P&O Maritime Services Limited, P&O Bulk Shipping Limited, British India Steam Navigation Company Limited, the empire upon which the sun will never set, which we explained to you yesterday. The central banks now are stealing from the people. They could be issuing all of these services. All of our work streams, all of our retail systems could be solvent, and all of them could be funded by democracy, and all of the people that work in the civil service and in the public sector could have the same pay rise as these criminals get every year. P&O Dover Holdings Limited, European Ferries Limited, the Peninsular and Oriental Steam Navigation Company. We're not allowed to know who Michael Ellis Moore is, and I have had no further feedback from the fraudulent company in the United Arab Emirates, which it advertises its wares on the companies in the UK set website, until yesterday when I screen captured it, but it has been disappeared off my computer. Since I screen captured the ad on companies in the UK, they have taken that down, but blessedly they know that democracy and complicity in the Trident scandal is evil and could be very reputationally hazardous for something that purports to be representing the Crown, which is also a massive fraud, and which is also something that I am going to expose in the ensuing proceedings at Jedburgh Sheriff Court, where they have given me a gagging order because they condone everything that I've just told you in that last 30-minute video. I'm signing off now. Thank you to the lady on Google Plus for being a witness to what they are trying to do to the already demolished economy of our country. Everything in this country is a fraud at the children's expense. Please have a look at the Mother's Guide to Central Banking and see that your kids have a life in debt because of Dave Prentice and Unison's presence on the issuance of money at the court of the Bank of England, so that they can steal from the country and re-lend the cash that democracy could have for free, that there could be no unemployment at all. Everybody should get their education free, that like me and Lord Patton did. I don't know what it's like in Canada, Patricia Tom, but what you're doing in asset stripping innocence of everything that they owned before they met their spouse, who works in the laundering sector but is probably unaware of it because she's simple, and that's the reason I married her. She's simple, she's decent, she does not understand that she and her business activities are defrauding the NHS and the dentistry sector in the UK, and they are depriving everything that she got as a child and I got as a child, free dental services run by the schools as innocent parties from within the schooling system here. All the education, all the way up to 1995, was entirely free. Okay? Thank you for the constructive change under pressure, companies in the UK. I don't know who their chief executive is. Alistair Campbell, it may not be the spin doctor, is the boss at Company Check. Please see the British Lions videos and the asset stripping of sport, NHS, all professions, all of the pharma scams, all of the scams against the patients in the NHS, and the profiteering there that allows the care homes, privately owned now, to thrive because we give the patients and the elderly too many drugs in Scotland. It's part of the pay round negotiations for the doctors across the UK, and it also explains the Wolfson Foundation's polypill scandal run by one of Britain's leading medics. It is shameful. Everybody is at the trough except the children. They have to pay for all of these corrupted activities. Bye bye.